Hey, Smauglings, what is happening? Just want to do this little video where I wanted to discuss some video game remakes that I'd love to see personally, because we're obviously getting quite a lot at the minute, and we've got the Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater remake coming out later this year, and it got me thinking about remakes that I'd love to see, because I have such a fondness for the games that formed me as a gamer when I was younger, and I really do think about them quite a lot. And some of them are not available on current gen hardware, which is an absolute crime, I think. And I think some of these really need to be experienced again by myself as well. I love the convenience of just having it on current gen hardware and being on the PS5 available to play. So got 5 games here that I'd really love to see as remakes released on the PlayStation 5, and they are unrealistic, some of them, but I wanted to say them nonetheless because this is a safe space. This is for dreams. We're going to allow dreams happen in this video, okay, Smauglings? So we're going to let dreams happen here. So let's shoot for the moon. So what I've got here is my 5 games, so I'm going to go for the 5 games here. At number 5, I've got a game that I want to remake for. I bet nobody else does, because nobody else played it, and that is Sky Odyssey. That is the PS2 launch flight simulator that's got an amazing soundtrack by Kawatani, who later went on to compose Shadow of the Colossus, and it's a really fun arcadey flight simulator that I got a lot of fondness for, and a lot of it is to do with the fact that I could play with my grandfather, and I remember him playing it with me when I was a kid, and it's got a lot of nostalgia, a lot of fun memories attached to it for me, and I really do have a fondness when I think about it, and that is definitely one that I want to see as a remake. And just imagine the environments. It takes place in the Hebrides, so I imagine the luscious landscapes being shown in 4K on the PS5 and being able to fly around the various terrains that you see before you. And it's really mystical, magical, wonderful game. And there's not really much of a story. You're an explorer going to unearth a lost civilization in the Hebrides, and that's what the story's about. But you don't know much about that. It's just what's on the blurb, on the case of the game, and you're basically going up there to explore, and you're going to make sure that you get there. So you go through these various levels, and I'd love to see that as a remake. Completely unrealistic, but why not say it, because it's what I absolutely want. So that is Sky Odyssey there at number 5. Number 4, we've got a franchise that is very important to PlayStation, very important to me, and that is Uncharted. So Uncharted Drake's Fortune is the game that I want to be remade, and I absolutely love the Uncharted series. We've not had one in 8 years now, so it's been almost 8 years since we had the last installment in the Uncharted series, which was Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. In terms of the games, we've had the movie as well, which was quite good, surprisingly good, but we've not had a game since The Lost Legacy, which starred Chloe Fraser, the character that is within the roster of the main games, and she had her own game, and we've not had a game since then. Obviously, Sony are in the business of remaking a lot of their games, and Uncharted Drake's Fortune would be great as a remake. They obviously released the remastered collection, but Naughty Dog are themselves can't stop remastering and remaking their game. So why not throw Uncharted in the mix? Because they've done Last of Us, I think, 20,000 times. So why not do Uncharted once? Why not do that? So I think Uncharted seems like a good candidate, and one I'd absolutely love to see, because that first game is a little bit dated. I love it, but it's nowhere near as good as the sequels that came after it. It's clearly the weakest game in the series, and we need a remake for that game, and then we could get some subsequent remakes for Uncharted, just to remind the public consciousness of how wonderful Uncharted is. I feel like people have forgotten how great Uncharted is because we haven't had one in so long, but we need a reminder just to know that Uncharted is a very important franchise to PlayStation. So I'd love to see Uncharted Drake's Fortune, and then we can have the flow of Resident Evil style remakes that come after that, then, where we have Uncharted 2, 3 and 4 as remakes as well. Why not? So I'd absolutely love to see that. That is Uncharted number 4. Number 3, we've got Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. And why do I pick that one specifically? Because that is probably my favourite game in the series, and it's the most dynamic in terms of the environments. I love the fact that you go to different places. You go to the tanker, you go to the Big Shell facility, you go to Wall Street. There are a plethora of different environments within the game. And if you look at Metal Gear Solid 1, you are in the Shadow Moses Island, and then Metal Gear Solid 3, you're in the Soviet territory jungle, and there's not a lot of variation there. And obviously we're getting Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, so that's not a worry at all. But I'd love to see Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty as a remake. I love how irreverent it is. I love the fact that it said, fuck you, Raiden is the protagonist, you're not getting Snake. I love that. I find that really appealing in terms of narratives, when creators just say, you get what you're given and deal with it. I love that. I think that's so cool and such a swinging dick move when people do that, and it's quite cool when done right. And Kojima is someone that can pull it off, so I appreciate that he did that. And I think it's such a great game, revolutionary game in a lot of ways, and Kojima's always great, so it's always great to see games from Kojima. But obviously Kojima's not with Konami anymore, but hopefully they can reconcile with each other and work together to bring out this game again. That would be really cool, to work on Metal Gear again, and I'd love to see that. So that's Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty right there. Number 2, we've got Silent Hill 1. So the first Silent Hill, and we've had the amazing success of Silent Hill 2 Remake, which I absolutely adored. One of the best games in recent memory. I absolutely love my time with that game. As such a massive fan of Silent Hill 2, as someone that considers it to be damn near my favourite game of all time, I really loved that it was as good as it was, and they really modernised it well. Bluebird team really were up to the task of creating such an amazing game, and I had such a great time with Silent Hill 2 Remake, and I really want to see Bluebird team work on more games within the Silent Hill universe, because they have a clear understanding of how to do it right, and this was such an amazing game. Another franchise that was dormant, just like Uncharted has been dormant. Silent Hill was dormant for so long, and we didn't get any games for 8 years, it seemed like, since Silent Hill Downpour. So it was awesome for Silent Hill fans such as me to experience such a triumphant return to form with Silent Hill 2, and we've got more great games to come, such as Silent Hill F and Townfall, and we've got good things to look forward to, hopefully. So I'm really excited about that. So I want to see Silent Hill 1 as a remake to be available on PS5, because the only way you can really play it right now is on PS3. That's the most modern hardware you can use to play it, unless you got a PC. Obviously you can have the latest version there, and that is the case with that. But I'd love to see Silent Hill 1 as a remake. That'd be awesome to see, and I think that'd be really cool. So please remake Silent Hill 1. Konami, you've had great success with Silent Hill 2, and it'd be great to see you do Silent Hill 1 at number 2. So that is Silent Hill 1 at number 2. Number 1. What is number 1? What is the coveted number 1 spot on Smoggy's list? What is it? It is Ico. So Ico, another one of my favourite games of all time. Really tremendous game that I played over Christmas again recently, and just reminded of how atmospheric and how immersive that game is. The most immersive game I think I've ever played in my life. It really draws you in. There's no HUD. You're this boy trapped in a castle because you have a bad omen and you're born with horns, and you find a girl and you must escape the castle. And it's incredibly simple, incredibly beautiful, really inspiring to me as a kid. I used to write so much about this game when I was a kid, writing different pieces of lore that would fill in the gaps of what actually happened, because nothing is explained to you. It's all in the environment, and it's gorgeous game. Artistically, it's the most beautiful game I've ever seen in my life, and really would love to see a remake of that, quite honestly. And Sony, this is a please remake Ico, because I think it is a tremendous game and really needs to be reintroduced into the public consciousness so that we have a way to experience it again, just like Oblivion recently was as well. And I think this is something that really needs to be done, quite honestly. Stop spending money on goddamn multiplayer games that don't bear fruit, and just give us an Ico remake, please. Ico is amazing. I'd love to see an Ico remake, and that is what I want to see right there as the #1 remake I'd love to see. And that is the list, guys. That is the list of the 5 games I'd love to see remade. Let me know down below what other games you'd love to see remade for current gen hardware. Would love to hear them. I'm going to tag 2 YouTubers in this video. I'm going to tag Lady Robin Hood and Sunny Gaming 2020, 2 awesome YouTubers who I'd love to hear their thoughts about this. No pressure if you don't want to do it, guys, but I'd love to hear your picks, and I will tag you up below. So that is it, guys. Really appreciate you watching, and I will catch you soon.